welcome back to the latest episode of Rich Lessons. I'm really excited about this episode because we have someone on that I've been knowing since I was 18 years old. We were both 18 years
I
old.
was 17.
Oh, he was a little bit younger. He was a young buck at LSU where we were students. I'm going to give this little intro of Tyrus, but there's so much more that I know I'm not going to say. So Tyrus Thomas, after playing college basketball at LSU, was drafted 4th overall in 2006 NBA draft by the Portland Trailblazers, who then traded him to the Chicago Bulls. He also played for the Charlotte Bobcats and finished his NBA career with 8 seasons. Today, he is the CEO of National Collegiate Recruitment Agency. He's also the co-host of an amazing podcast, so we're going to get into those details. And he's the founder of Athlete Operating System. And I really like the mission of that. So we're going to also get into that. Welcome to Rich Lessons Podcast, Tyrus.
Thank you.
So we're going to go back into time a little bit. But before we do, what am I missing from what I just stated about you then? What are you up to today?
Just that. Like that's you updated them. Just really NCRA, National Collegiate Recruitment Agency. That has been my life the last year. And so I was coaching college ball last year at University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, where I finished my degree. But it was time for me to, I think, step away from coaching basketball and focus on helping coach people in life. So.
Now, you're also the founder of Athlete Operating System, and the background around that with recruitment and focusing on athlete mental health. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I guess that's what I was alluding to when I say like stepping away from the sideline. I think for me, just my life has been rooted in basketball since I was a kid. So everything from, like I was telling somebody, outside of old Astro World, if I didn't travel if it wasn't to play basketball, right? So I was able to see the world, but it wasn't ever a family vacation. Like it was because of basketball. So at an early age, I was, flying without my family, but it was because of basketball. So I think in that transition, I coached high school. So I came home from Germany. My last year was in Germany, 2016. My good friend, Brandon White, he was the athletic director at Liberty. So I was supposed to just be helping him that summer, and that turned into 8 years. And more than the basketball, what I fell in love with was just mentoring the kids, right? I still tell people my basketball career was like an anomaly. And just by the numbers is not the reality, right? But how do we help these kids through the sport? How do we, for me, it was kind of just being the desire to be the coach that I needed. Like a lot of people don't know, like I never played for a coach outside of Jimmy Douglas, who was my travel ball coach, and Collis Temple, who coached me before that. Like I never played for a coach for 2 years. In college, I only played 1 year. In high school, I had 3 coaches. In NBA, 2 teams, 7 years, I had 6 different head coaches, right? So it's like for me, and I had success. So I always thought about the kid, but I struggled, right? And so I just had the God-given ability and talent to persevere. So I always think about like the kids who really didn't, who got this talent, but they never had the support to now transfer those skills to life. Cause I think like that's the ultimate goal, right? Like the skills you learn in sport should be able to help you propel in life.
Absolutely.
So that's what AOS is about.
So you talk about kids. Can you take us back to when you were a kid? Tell us a little bit about your background, how you grew up, where you grew up.
It's so vast. I was primarily raised by my grandmother. My mom, she worked, she was around, but I was a granny's baby. Like, I was up under my grandmother. And so my uncles, they were like my older brothers. Wherever they went, I had to go, especially Shed. So, basketball just became my thing. It became my safe space. It's just where I learned. It's pretty much where I learned everything, like from how to communicate, understanding that when I'm playing at Dufrock or I'm playing at Sports Academy, rules are one way. You handle conflict one way. When you playing at the rec center, you can't always handle stuff like you handle it there, right? Like, or when, so basketball, being able to play in different places, it exposed me to like different people early, and just different ways to handle conflict, the different consequences with conflict in different places. So, for me, basketball was like, it was always my safe space. It was my way to get out of South Baton Rouge. Like, I knew every summer I'm going somewhere. Like, we're gonna win, we're gonna travel, I'm gonna get to go see something, So for me, it just was always like, basketball was my thing. Like, it was my sanctuary.
When did you know, like, this is it? Like, basketball is my thing. Because people's like, somebody might say, because you're tall, but people are tall.
Well, I guess, how were you asking that question? In the sense of like, oh, I'm going pro?
Yeah, like, how did you know, like, because like, my niece and nephews, they play sports. I play sports, but it really was, one, to stay in shape, but two, it was very much about being disciplined. So I know a lot of parents put their kids in sports for discipline reasons, but then there comes a point in the journey where there's that 1% who knows, like, no, this is it for me. Like, this is gonna be my profession.
Man, when we beat Duke, when we beat Duke in the Elite Eight, I was like, all right, this how I'm gonna eat. And I think they got sound clips of that. But like, that's when I knew. Before then, I really I seen a lot of great basketball players in my life. Like, I saw a lot of great basketball players. I ain't seen none of them make it. And so I never, even just like the people that I looked up to, like, I never seen them make it. And I thought they were really good. And it's like, well, shit, you don't even know. Right? And so like, my reality was, man, use school to get a job. And even then, the best jobs that I saw was working at the plant when you come home clean. Right? And so I knew you had to have a degree for that. I didn't know what kind of degree. I didn't know what they was doing at the plant. But all the people that I seen moved out of my neighborhood, whether that was to Mayfair, the Gardiel when they was building it up, they worked at the plant. I didn't want to be in the streets. I grew up seeing that. Like, I never had a desire for that. Like, I never was the kid to pretend to be like that. I wasn't scary in it, but I just knew what I wanted. I grew up going visit my dad in jail. So this is never appealing to me. Right? But I didn't see anything else. Like, it was the plant. Go to the plant, you can go get a house. Like, you can go buy a house if you work at the plant. And so for me, I really just wanted to go to school and have fun and play basketball and just get a good job. Like, that was until I seen different, that was the best I knew. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so like, for me, I was just hooping. Like, I just was having fun. Like, I'm 3 streets away from the house that I grew up in. Like, I'm having fun. Like, Vinny could tell you, I just was a fun kid. Like, I'm always having fun on campus. I never took much of anything serious in the sense of like panic, worry. Man, we having fun. What y'all tripping about? My dorm room better than my house. I got my own room in my dorm room. I got a doorknob on it. I can lock it. I got a closet. Like, what I'm tripping about? I made it, right? Like, and so like, my neighborhood, they get to watch me play. Before, like, I literally grew up not even that. Our neighborhood gym was on the back of WCA, like one street, Alaska and Astor. Like, so like, before then, we used to get told, don't go over there. And we going to the rec to play ball. Don't go over there messing with them people.
Yeah.
Don't y'all go over there getting in no trouble.
And over there is LSU. LSU literally is in the backyard of South Baton Rouge.
Right. But it was, even then, my grandmother was a housekeeper on campus. So before, I know what people see now, but before I got to LSU, it wasn't like that. Like, before we got to, it wasn't just the blacks, like, even how it is now, people was going to Southern. They was still bus riding to Southern. The blacks on LSU campus would go to Southern to go to football games and tailgate at that time, right? So, like, it wasn't like it is now where it was just overly welcoming. That was a business decision. I committed to the University of Miami. Perry Clark got fired. I ain't have no more big school offers. So it's either go to Nichols, go to Southern, or go to LSU. That was a business decision, right? Like at that, even from I want to work at the plant, that's a business decision, right? Like I'm understanding at that point, I had a little bit of understanding of network, right? At least I could go over here, play 4 years, and get me a job where I could have a desk, right? Like that's all I knew. So it just, I was living, I was having fun. Like I had fun those 2 years. I had a lot of fun. I didn't want to leave. I had to leave. I had fun.
So let's talk about that. So you went to McKinley High School, which if you know any McKinley folks, they rep very hard. And then you went to LSU. And so I met Tyrus, I want to say, in Dr. Leonard Moore's class. It was something like that.
Something in that, yeah, it was.
And Dr. Leonard Moore he taught African-American studies and African-American history. And I didn't really run with athletes, right? But I met Tyrus because Tyrus kind of ran with everybody. Like he was just cool with a lot of people and super multifaceted. And so because of that, he just didn't hang with athletes, right? And we met through this world of Dr. Moore, and Dr. Moore was like, y'all need to get in here and learn about Black people.
Right.
While y'all running around this campus. And particularly, he had to focus on athletes, yes. Right? Knowing where they came from, knowing how to like look back and give back to their community. But you were already kind of in that mindset, I feel, Tyrus, and you only evolved more into that. But you talk about this fact that you didn't really want to leave college. You left college out of necessity. Can you talk a little bit about that?
3 months before the draft, our lights was off at my mama's house. So like, it was and it wasn't like, oh, you might get drafted. It's like, man, you're gonna probably be the number 1 pick. Like I had the potential to be I was in the top 5, right? So it at that point, it was like I had to end like this.
Right. What do you do?
Especially with lights.
Your lights out. You gotta go get this
like,
money.
But not even that. It's not like, oh, you might be a 2nd round pick or a late 1st round pick. You're going to be a lottery pick. You're gonna be top 10. Like I was projected to possibly be number 1 pick. 3 months ago, and nobody know who I was. Mm-hmm. Right? Like it was circumstantial. Like again, it wasn't you had a dream, oh, I want to play in the league, but that wasn't like my real reality dream. Right. So it was like, when that happened, it's like, man, all right. We didn't have NIL. Right. So even that, like, I have no resentment towards the kids getting NIL now. However, I think the lack of understanding and how to use your own name, image, and likeness and what that's for. So like for me, I mean, we talk about it now. I used to sign the basketball for the guy. He would bring 15 deflated basketball to me and Glenn, and they'll be deflated all on top of each other, and he'll give us $25 a piece, but he'll go sell them for $100. But if we sold them for $100 or for the 25, we get in trouble.
Yeah.
My mama can't sell my name, but somebody else could sell my name. Y'all ain't sold a number 12 jersey in the bookstore, never. But now this year, y'all selling them off the rack. Why I can't get none of that? So I didn't want nothing from the school, right? So I started to tell you I never talked about it. Getting on the bus, going to the Final Four. Chris Howell, who was over compliance at the time, they came pull me off the bus. It's like, you under investigation, NCAA rule you ineligible as of now. Why? Because the church that I had been going to since I was about 8, 9 years old, gave my family money so they could come watch me play, and that was illegal per the NCAA rules. So I don't want the school to give me nothing. I just didn't want to have to sit in interrogation like I did something to prove that we've been going to this church and this ain't no, like, I didn't want to have to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't have to do that. For what? Why? You know what I'm saying? So like, that's my only little nudge with the NIL is like, I don't like, it's name, image, and likeness. So like, you got kids want money to go to schools that they can't put 100 people in the stands, right? And it's like no knock to them, but like, and no knock to Southern. Why? If you should be grateful to play, like, because one, if that's what you're left with, then you're not SEC talent, you're not LSU caliber, you're not Duke caliber, right? So one, there's a lack of realism. So like, to be able to go to a school that can't average 200 fans in the stands, your name, image, or likeness doesn't have any value to even put bodies in the seat. So how are you asking for money?
Yeah.
Right. And so what we're teaching kids how to get something for nothing. We're teaching them to want, like, we're teaching them that they deserve things that they don't deserve. Right. Because still tuition costs. And a lot of y'all not $20,000 good.
Yeah.
Plus the meals that they feeding you. Right. You're not worth the stakes. Like, your game is not worth, nobody's not going to pay to come see you play. So we was packing out the stands when I was at LSU.
Yes.
Right. Like,
yes.
every night. And so and it's not to knock, but it's just to teach them. Sometimes you're not doing what you think you're doing just because that's the narrative. Right. A lot of people think, like, college sports, most teams don't even make money.
People around you, though, right? Because they're your uncle.
It's the people around you. Like, most people don't, most schools don't make money. The sports, unless, I mean, you talk the big schools, but it's the football teams that carry everything.
Yeah, I can imagine like Southern having to pay for everybody that's on their bench or on the court to come and play.
But where
do we get the money from?
But it's not even that. It's the lack of reality that I should be grateful for this free opportunity. But so you don't even want to go to school. That's basically what you're saying. So like, you're not good enough to just play. Because if you was good enough to not go to school and just play, you'll be at one of the big schools. They gonna make it work for you.
Right.
Like, it's no secret. We ain't about to sugarcoat it. You could not go to school, but you gotta be that good. You gotta be that good.
So do you think NIL has ruined college sports? Or, because not just college, it's also throughout. So do you think the NIL has had a more of a pro or con effect on sports?
I think it's had a con effect on it. And more so of the education factor. I just think it screws up the reality of kids. Like, it just screws up their reality. And especially when you talk about, like, I have the passion for the Black boys, right? Like, because how we learn at those stages is very pivotal. You know, I was 19 when I got drafted, so I understand that age and getting things. And like, so if you get $500,000 in college and you don't go to the NBA, you'll never make that ever again. I don't care what level you play and how much success you have, right? And you could be one of the best things. You'll never make that again, possibly. But you're gonna have to be, right? It's very few guys overseas making that. So by the numbers, we already setting you up for a lifestyle. Like, even 200. Like, I don't know. Like, we teach him bad values with giving, right? Like, if you earn it, cool. Teach them. Like, social media is so powerful now. Okay, use your name, image, and likeness, build a brand, market, partner with brands, collaborate with different businesses, earn your money. Don't give them. Like, and again, mine is more in looking at the damage that it will do to our kids. Not so much of, I don't want them to have it. I want them to understand what it takes to get it so they can understand the value of it. It took me, and I didn't spend frivolously, but I helped a lot, right? And it took me a few years she used to get on me. Yeah. Like she kept, like, because it came so easy. So shit, yeah, I want everybody to feel
Tyrus
this.
is very generous.
Right?
And day one, as a rookie, he was generous. And he just wanted to give back to his community, to kids in South Baton Rouge. Like, day one.
So even the intention is good, but if you don't understand everything that go with it, you know, so it's like, it took me a few years to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And like, again, luckily for me, I wasn't frivolous on myself. So it's like, I'm cool. I didn't have bad spending habits or bad, you know what I'm saying? So like, but regardless of what it is, you got to understand it. Right. And so if you're not taught it from a young age, if your parent, because if you don't know, it's because nobody else ever had, so they can't teach you that. They've never been exposed to that.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to bring it even before college, right? So Austin runs a high school. It's gotten so bad. So I love what you're saying about, it's about the kids, right? It's about them getting education so they can understand all of the many things that's going to happen to them in the future, right? finances, all these different things. And you're not saying, oh, I don't want you to get the money, but you also are saying, I want you to get the money and the education. Right.
Because though, so I could go back to LSU when I want, how I want, because I made it to the league. If I didn't, I wouldn't have that. And so it's easy we could play the game, but if you don't go, them doors not gonna be open for you no more.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to get that 100,000 no more. But if you create it, they not gonna shut the door because they went in too. Right? And so it's about teaching them the long game. Most people don't understand it because they never been through it. And the people that got the ears of the kids, and I know probably Austin tell you all the time, it's people who never done it.
Yeah.
Right? It's the people who never done it and they're trying to live vicariously through the kids and tell them, I know. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Right? You don't understand the ins and outs of it. You don't understand how meticulous it is and what the things they need outside of just playing. Right? And so
it do be the parent. Let me tell you how bad it's gotten. Because so St. Augustine, where my husband is the president CEO, has produced the most NFL players out of any school, high school in Louisiana ever. Today, they had, I'm not going to say no names, but they had a kid not bypass college. He was trying to bypass high school to go get that 1 year in college to go off to play, right? Because the money was waiting for him in college. And so they were circumventing, his people around him were trying to circumvent the high school process so he could essentially skip a grade in high school to go to college where money, like a $20 million check was waiting for him. And so they kind of went behind a couple of people's backs and went through some loopholes. And people said, what do you mean? How you can't be a senior? You can't be about to graduate because you were a year behind. But they had circumvented the process to go to summer school, classes, all these things to do that. And ultimately, the kid ended up leaving the school because St. Aug was like, nah, we education first. Like, we know we about sports and football, but we have to be education first, right? We can't just let you graduate a year early. But some high school did, right? And so now that kid is kind of like pushed into college a year early so that they can get that NIL deal. And so I'm just thinking about how early it's happening to kids and how youth sports is such big business, $1 trillion business that we talked about.
To the point that private equity is like,
nah, they're in it now. They in it hard. They in it hard. From real estate to just everything tech, like they're in it hard.
My nephew plays on the national circuit, and I traveled to some games this summer with him. First off, I literally, like, no exaggeration, I think we spent probably anywhere from $1,500 on the low end to probably $3,000 every city we went to. That's not including the amount that we had to pay for him to be on the team. It's not including the amount. Like, I'm just like, but
it's robbery, right? So like, even I was telling, somebody was asking me why I don't have a summer team. And I was like, because people don't want to develop. Like, I'm not trapped, man. I'm not taking no 11-year-old across no country for what? Why? Man, you better go take your ass to tutoring. Sorry. Like, I'm not doing that. We go to Hammond. We go to New Orleans. We might go to Tampa or Orlando so y'all family can have a real vacation. But even that, we teaching these babies. Here's one thing I don't like. Because I tell you, like, the difference is when we played, parents ain't travel. Like, I never played in front of parents. Like, in the summer, parents went to work. You got in a 15-passenger van with your coach and your team, and y'all went wherever y'all went, right? So, like, I'm not, like, but we practiced 3-4 days a week. We was in the gym every day, right? Like, we wasn't, and we were winning, though. Like, we were the best team in the nation couple years in a row. And so, but it's like, I'm not at 11, but that's also, we was 15, 16, 17. I'm watching 11-year-old exposure tournament to what? Yeah. Well, ain't nobody come watch you. Don't nobody care how good an 11-year-old is, but they mama. Huh?
The other side making money, though.
Yeah, because them parents care, and them parents are stupid. And them parents think that, man, we see it now. if they now are recruiting 24 and 25-year-olds, what make you think that your 11-year-old getting exposure if the high school kids can't get into college? What make you think that they looking at an 11-year-old?
Yeah. I mean, the high schools are about to go out and start raising money to give high schools NIL deals. That's the next thing coming.
But watch this.
Which is crazy.
But you also I'm about to tell you what's the crazy part. And I God was working with me, so I don't have the passion behind it as I used to really call people out on it. But they gonna spend the money on trying to get the kids, but they not spending nothing on the people that they putting in the seats to develop the kids, to mentor the kids, to nurture the kids, right? They think they could just go get kids. What that sound like?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Buy them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we not worrying about the person who develops something. Develop something. You can't. So you mean tell me you can't develop?
Yeah.
So if the coach can't develop, he shouldn't be there. Like now we gotta start thinking about that. Now administration. Like if you go and get a coach that has to get the best players, he not no coach.
Yeah. That's not his focus, right?
That's not right. Right. So do we want a coach? Because also we gotta be realistic. Like even I'm so mind boggled by a lot of schools with this NIL stuff because y'all still know it don't put y'all in position to compete for nothing. Y'all still not good enough.
Yeah.
You going to spend all this money on kids and you not going to compete for nothing. Why?
Yeah.
Like, so everybody just tricked.
So I have a question related to kids who are super early traveling. What's the basketball player who used to play for the Lakers? He got a podcast show now. He got 2 twin boys.
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes. So he said he believes, this is his opinion, I'm curious to know if you also believe this. He was like, now you have players that are more like Tatum, all these other people who are more injury prone. And he said it's because they are constantly on the road playing nonstop all year. And it's just wearing on their body. So now you have more Achilles heel injuries, more tears, more rips than you ever seen before in the NBA, because now you have players who have been on the circuit constantly nonstop their entire lives. Now, do you believe that this big business that we're talking about is also impacting their health and like just long-term success of players?
No question. So it's just like I was like, a lot of people focus on training like the pros, right? But they forget that whole foundation. So it's like they going and they picking out the siding for the house, the shingles, that they ain't worrying about the foundation. They ain't worrying about the structure. They ain't worrying about the framing. They ain't worrying about the plumbing. They ain't worrying about the electrical. They ain't worrying about the HVAC. They just worrying about the paint. They just worrying about the siding. They just worrying about, what kind of curtains they got, the artwork. Like, so they're not building a structurally sound house. And so over time, it breaks down. Like you can't, they missing it. Like they missing it. Like and especially like with basketball, like even the way they develop, like I had somebody ask, man, I'm not individually training no 6-year-old kid.
Not a 6-year-old.
But what I'm saying is the essence of the game, and another reason why it's messed up, because everybody is doing individuality. If you want to be an individual, go play tennis.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody's training individually and I want my money individually. I want to train individually. I want to do you trying to play a team sport. So it don't work. Right? So at those early ages, they need to be learning how to play the game in different roles and different sectors, especially when you talk about basketball. Why? Because basketball is one of the only sports where, yeah, you have positions, but everybody on the floor doing the same thing, all things at the same time. Right? A DB is never going to line up to go be a receiver or to go tackle, be in the middle of the field, or, you know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things in football where positions you only do one thing. Basketball, I see it a lot because the kids they burn out physically. They don't understand mentally. And it's because everybody trying to be the guy early. Yeah. They want it early. Everybody, it's instant gratification, but it's like anything else. Like I had to tell a parent, I'd be tripping sometimes. I'm like, why? So she was like, the coach needed that. Did you go tell him they need to put your baby in trig as a 9th grader? because he capable. You saying what he capable to do on the basketball court. Go tell him to make sure they put your baby in tree because he's capable of learning. He capable of doing it. So go do that.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looked at me crazy, but it's the same concept. Like we want what we want early, right? And it's like, it's a process to it. You wouldn't try to go, if your baby's slow in math, you're not gonna go put him in advanced math on day one of school.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him to be embarrassed, but you'll do it through the name of sport.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want him to get hurt or struggle, but you'll do it in the name of sport. You're scratching that lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get that, ain't no way I'm spending all that money on my baby. Not in no sport. We finna go play the piano.
Do you believe that? So now there's a conversation around the money that's spent on kids in sports are giving those who are more fluent a head start. So, for example, people believe like one, because of AAU and all these different summer leagues and school, doing out the school, there's different leagues that you can be a part of. They feel like one, high school sports is diminished, right? So, you know, high school Friday night, that was like where people were. Thursday, jamboree, like that is basically being put on the back burner. Secondly, now you see individuals, and this happens in individual sports too, tennis, golf, affluent parents are able to give their kids the best coaches, the best time. And so the Allen Iversons of the world, the Tyrus Thomas of the world may never make it to the NBA because so much money has been to push these athletes over here who come from more affluent backgrounds. And to be honest, you have a son, you could probably push him into that direction if you wanted to as well.
Man, yay. And
I just want to say, Michael Jordan pushed his sons too.
You gotta have talent still.
But it's a 22 on it though.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about, when you talk about sport, professional sport, most professional athletes got stuff that God gave them that you can't teach or learn or own care, right? Like I've played with, I at one point I was playing with a guy, he was leading the league in minutes and he smoked more Black and Miles than the law allowed. A regular person can't do that. I'm talking about he only work out 21 days of summer, all-star, lead the league in minutes, right? Like, and so people really don't, that's why if you go look around, and so it's not so much that they can push their kids, it's in them. For the most of them, it's in them. Like my son walk like me, look like me, stand like me, talk like me, act like. If it is in them, it's in them. If it's not, it's not. Like, so you could go do all this, but you still gotta have that it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could give it to them, but if they ain't got it in them,
they ain't got it.
right? And so
nature over nurture.
It's gonna take over all the time. I was just telling somebody, if I don't have a 6-inch growth spurt, I don't go to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality I have. And I know most people don't want, like, man, you 5'10", stop.
You sound like Austin. He always like, oh, these poor kids.
Nah, like, cause it's not that it can't happen, but tell me, what do you do exceptionally well?
Yeah.
You're 5'10", you're trying to play basketball. What do you do exceptionally well? Well, I'm a decent shooter. I can get somebody 6'5" that can shoot decent. Like, what do you, like?
I mean, especially today we don't even have centers.
Right, and so, like, yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it's a lot of things that people, like, even with school, it's 365 Division I schools, but then you got like another 1,400 other schools. By the numbers, y'all not Division I. Just by the numbers. By the numbers of college athletes, you're not Division I, right? And so it's like we losing the focus of what the sport is for, right? To give you different lessons to maneuver in life, to teach you how to fight through adversity. You know, like kids not learning how to fight through adversity in sport no more, because when they don't play, their mama or their daddy take them off the team and go start another team so they can play. So they don't tell them work harder.
The amount of
that
games
real.
This summer where parents was trying to fight the referee, fight the coach, to the point like they literally have
gambling.
Security.
They gambling
at these games.
They gambling. I done spent, like, how much money you just said you spent?
$15,000 to $3,000 every time.
On your
nephew.
Come on, man. So they scratching them tickets. The junior can't make a bucket. Ref ain't giving him no call. Hey,
coach not giving him no play time.
I gotta write another check, man. They mad. I gotta find somebody to be mad at. I gotta find, listen, somebody about to get this heat. I done called off of work. Now I gotta go back home and work these doubles. Cause you to come out here and play like this. He
Only
ain't
got
give you
2 minutes of play time.
He ain't got that. The ref won't give you no call. Man, they mad. Cause they gambling.
Listen, you are not lying.
They-
It was
listen.
a parent who, after the game, security literally had to come and hold this man back because his wife was trying, wasn't working. But he was cussing out the coach because he was saying, "I pay all this effing money for my son to play on this team."
But that's it's like, why y'all think the money gonna do something? Like y'all letting people jack you and then you get mad. Like, why? It's first off, summer team. If you paying as a parent, hit me out. Basketball, I can't speak on other sport. If you paying that type of money, my child not playing on a team with more than 8 players if I'm paying that type of money. He not because if you got 15 players and they all paying it, you can't play 15.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting though, because when you look back at some of the best players today or in recent history, Curry wouldn't let Steph play AAU.
Because we know, but you want to know the crazier part? Nobody listened to the people who been there. Like the pros, like, because even everything we align with how we don't buy the list because it don't sound good. Mm. So they listen to the people who never been nowhere, and make it sound good. Money. Yeah. Like, because if I tell you, man, you need to be developing. Like, I just telling a parent, before 10th grade, why are you traveling? You need to be running 2-3 miles every day. You need to be lifting weights. You need to be making 200 or 300 shots. So on a typical weekend, hypothetically, just say y'all got 2 games Thursday, 2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, 1 on Sunday. That's 7 games. The best player, hypothetically say the coach let him go off and shoot 20 shots a game. Shoot 20 shots a game. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In 4 days, you only shot 140 shots. Man, you supposed to be making 400-500 a day if you talking about being good. Right? The worst, I wasn't a shooter when I played in the NBA. I made 500 shots on a minimum every day. The worst shooters go and make, because that's my job. Right? So I can outshoot the average Joe on the street. And they don't understand that. So even in the form of developing, you wasting your whole summer. You spending your days putting up maybe 15 shots, only 3 of them good shots. You don't know why you shot the other 12, right? Like you ain't played but 3 minutes yesterday, so you ain't get no cardio in. They wasting their whole summer. So unless the team is paying for your child to travel, you shouldn't be paying for your child to travel. Nobody should pay for their child to travel because if you good enough, they gonna pay for you.
Yeah, no sponsors gonna pay.
Yes.
Right. Sure. Nobody, and that's why I tell people, I never paid to play basketball. I never paid. My mama we did fundraisers, but never, what my mama she gave me money. We had to have money to put in our pocket to go travel.
Exactly.
But pay to go play basketball? Yeah. If you good enough, they're gonna pay for you. Yeah. And that's the misconception. People think that they could pay their way in. No, because they paying for the ones who good enough. So nobody should be spending thousands of dollars on basketball, on no sport, because if your child is good enough to be on the elite circuit, they are going to pay for them.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay to bring you to. So you don't need to be.
Especially today.
Yeah. So if you have to pay, your child not good enough.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the sponsors come in and pay.
If you have to pay, if you have to pay for your child to travel, take that money and pay for some real training. Find a group of kids that your children could play pickup with.
And save their money.
Save your money, man.
So we're talking about high school, youth sports, college. Now, you were one of the people that made it, right? You made it to the NBA. And you made it to the NBA very young, right? You were 19 when you went to the draft, and then were playing for the Chicago Bulls. How was that transition like at 19, going from South Baton Rouge? Your mama lights was off a couple months ago. Now you are a millionaire, 4th overall pick in the NBA.
It exposed a lot of insecurities. You know what I'm saying? But it turned into catch. Right? So it's like literally like I had so many insecurities that I was like, I want to do a program teaching kids everything. And I walked down Highland Road from my grandmother's house to what was Bank One at the time with it was $528,000 check in my pocket. I didn't know about no money market account. I need a bank account. Only bank account I had was at the bursar's office on campus. The only money I get is when scholarship check come, right? So it's like just learning table etiquette. My pre-draft interview with Chicago, it was the GM at the time. It was Gar Foreman sitting here. Sky Skiles, I was a fan of his because he played with Shaq when Shaq was in Orlando. He was throw the lobs. So he was the head coach at the time. And then John Paxson, number 5, big shot John, who played with MJ. He was the president at the time. So I'm sitting with 2 dudes who, again, I'm a basketball head. So I'm like, damn. Again, I really, it's still processing. You know, like I'm meeting all these people, but it ain't really hitting me like, what's going on? And then we at the steakhouse. I can't remember which steakhouse it was out there in Deerfield, but man, we get to the table. My head spinning. I ain't never seen so many pieces of utensils. They had all kind of spoons, forks. Like, I know it now, salad fork. You know, they had salad fork, the dinner fork, dessert spoon, soup spoon. They had the wine glass. They had the champagne flute. They had the water glass. They had everything. And I was so, like, and I also never had an interview. So, like, to me, it's like, don't mess up. Don't mess up. I was just like, I ain't hungry. I ain't eat. The car took me back. The car was taking me back to the hotel. And I went to the, I think it was Jewel Osco. It was across the street from the hotel. I went and got lunch meat and some bread. And I made a sandwich in the hotel room because I was hungry as shit. But I was so nervous. Like, I was like, oh, man, I just ate. I ain't know we was going to eat. That way I ain't have to order nothing because I ain't want to have to touch nothing. Right? And so, like, for me, just early, more than the money, I was put in different spaces that I never been in. Right? Like, just being in different, where we come from, you tell it how it is. I ain't know how to be politically correct. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a couple $20 and $30 and $50,000 fines to realize, like, you know, just even, I didn't have media training, right? Again, I redshirted at LSU, so I wasn't one of the ones that was fortunate enough to get media training because they didn't expect me to do what I did, you know? So I didn't have the preparation for what I got thrown into, so it created a lot of insecurities. And through that, and the help of Savitri, we created Catch. And so, you know, that was Karen actively teaching children hope. And like, literally, it was just like, that was my passion project to like the kids where I was from, just to like expose them to different things that you're gonna face in life, you know? So yeah, that was my just thrown in the fire moment.
That's why I always say you gave back so much. And on day one, and like the youth program you created, the NBA recognized it. All of your teams that you played for recognized that you had like this huge philanthropic and naturally like giving heart and lift you up. When I tell people like the Nobel Prize for Public Service, Tyrus, we won that for Catch, for his program. And so many honors, I think that just comes to your background and where you're from, and you just wanted to like throw yourself in there. And so when you think about even his teammates, right? I think about all the LSU athletes that I've worked with, you by far were one of the most philanthropic, like up there with Ward Dunn and some of the others who come out of the South and out of Baton Rouge. But you also talk about how that could be like a weakness, like giving and always wanting to show for people. You didn't splurge on yourself that much. You splurged on other people, right? How do you feel that has changed over time, or have you begun to think about it differently? Like, how do you offer yourself up?
Yeah, I guess that was a big part of like, I would say like transitioning to like real entrepreneurship for me. Like, cause I tried different things, and like even with that, I think is like, for me, I got to do stuff that I'm passionate about. So real estate wasn't a good thing for me just cause I don't care enough about that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't, you know, and I got a sensitive heart. So I got some people who ain't paid me in months, then I gotta go do, and you know, like
You
I
don't
come
want
to
to
the
evict
house.
nobody.
You got the babies walking around in the Pampers. It's like, hell, all right, who done? They about to put them on the street?
Right.
Like, you know, so like I had to learn, like even that, learning what things like, and so just really understanding about myself helped me understand it with people too. Like I did a lot of like, and again, good intention, understanding how to help, right? A lot of times and that's why I feel the way about the NIL is because when we give, people don't always understand the value, right? And so we're giving to multiply, but it's gonna deplete because they don't understand it because you ain't make them work for it, right?
Yeah.
Or you didn't put it in a situation to where like, all right, here, I'm gonna show it to you. There it is. These are the obstacles. I'm gonna help you get through this. And when you get to it, you get it. Can't just get it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so like that was big for me because sometimes some people, a lot of people don't really want what they say they want when they got to put the work in. Right. And so like, but for me, it was always hard, like, to not feel like I'm leaving somebody behind or I'm giving up on somebody or I'm cutting somebody off. But then at the same time, I got to make sure I'm straight. I got to make sure I got 5-year-old now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like just being mindful of making sure that I can now do what I'm obligated to do and not what I thought I should do, you know? So it's just like the transition in business for me has really just been understanding my passions and what I'm good at. Like that's how the recruitment platform came about, and even the AOS, and us just finding the need, being able to service the need. Like that was for me. If I had a tidbit for entrepreneurship, it's like find your passion. Don't do the trendy stuff. Like don't, you know, it's easy to be like, oh, I want to do this, or see somebody do stuff and people think that. Because if you're passionate about it, like, you know, then stop. Like, it's not gonna, and you're gonna make it work. But if not, like with the real estate, I wasn't passionate about it. I sold every piece of real estate I had because it's like, this is a headache. I'm not passionate about it. I don't care to learn this, right? Mm-hmm. Like even it's things you have to learn and you got to be willing to learn and you got to know yourself, right? And I think a lot of times people get into situations, I got into a lot of business situations not knowing myself. In totality, like just thinking about what I could make it. Because there's even situations where I made money. It's like people, I don't like you for real, or I don't like the character you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we made money, but you're not a good person, right? Like, so like just finding out, I think like just for me, I had to find out who I was or just get in tune with that person for real. And then it made entrepreneurship easier.
So when you think about now, life after the NBA, because I won't say life after sports because you're so heavily involved today, you talk a lot about and have been vocal about like health and mental wellness. What role has healthcare played in your journey now post NBA?
Everything.
One thing I will say about you, like self-awareness, I feel like you definitely are self-aware.
Not you, man. Look, my self-awareness is at an all-time high. and I say that because one of the things I had to learn about that, the biggest part of self-awareness is knowing how other people feel about you. You ain't got to accept it, but it's like, because now it's like, okay, well, why? You know, I like to ask questions, so why? What am I doing or what? Because now I can help if this is what I'm giving off and I'm not trying to give it off. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me to transition out of sport, again, back to finding myself. I had been in the player role for so long, and it's like, now this is over with. And so.
Did you go through a moment of like, maybe I won't say depression is the word, but did you go through a moment like once you left the league, whether it was NBA or overseas, that you kind of feel like maybe you lost your identity? And I say that I've had friends in the league. I specifically remember one friend who played in NFL, and I remember when he was no longer playing, and he literally was going through this moment of like just being depressed, and we just had like a very open conversation. And he said, I remember when I could walk in the mall and everybody would want a picture. He said, I walk in the mall now and like people act like they have no clue who I am. So it was like he was in his world for years. People wanted autographs, people wanted pictures. Everyone wanted to hang with him, like his phone blew up nonstop. and then it was like, bam, it all just stops.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't that. I didn't know, like, I always I always tried to shy away from the cameras or people. But for me, it was just like what I'm about to do. Like, what I'm about to do. Like, literally, I've played basketball from the age of 4 to 30. What I'm about to do. The only year I didn't play basketball from 1990 to 2016 was the 2013-14 season I had spinal cord surgery. That was the only year I didn't play basketball. And that's when I started spiraling. And that's when I started realizing that basketball had kept me from dealing with everything, any issue. That's when I realized it's like I was so jovial because I had basketball. I don't care about nothing. I go to the gym. Like, so when I didn't have basketball, it's like, damn. Oh, that do bother me. Oh, I don't like this about myself. Or, like you just start, I ain't had nothing to do. I couldn't run. So like, even with me, like after spinal cord surgery, I couldn't jump. I couldn't walk fast. I pretty much was like, I just had to sit in the house. So for like 3 months. So I'm literally just like thinking. And it's like, man, what you gonna do? What's next? Who are you? Like, and so that's when I realized, like, you gotta take care of your mental health, because we take vitamins not because we sick, because we don't want to get sick. We go to get a checkup to make sure we straight, not because something hurting. We go work out so we can stay healthy, right? So what are we doing for the mental? Because if your body in shape but that brain dead, you're a vegetable, right? And so it's like we often forget, we come from that era, what happened in this house, stay in this house. Right? So more than just the house, you don't talk about nothing. Like, you don't talk about nothing, right? Like, you don't talk about, like, even with me, like, I probably could have played longer if I talked about what I was going through when I got to Charlotte, right? Like, it was a lot happening, like the love of the game. I just want to win. I don't want to do all this business stuff that y'all doing back here. Y'all got all these trades going on, team and blew up. I want to just get out where I can go play. Right? Like, and it's not about the money. It was just for me. Because like I say, I realized like I need the hoop to just be sane. So for me, it wasn't even about the money. Like, even when I got amnesty, I got paid for 3 years. And that was like hard. It's like, man, I'd rather like, y'all won't let me hoop and y'all just keep half of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the transition is hard because you gotta, and you really like, even the worst professional, I don't care how bad we think they are, they elite at something. And I gotta stop doing it. I don't have that in the way that I had it anymore. Right? So like now it's like I gotta redefine every day. It's like you become a machine. Like even I didn't party a lot, but I had one summer where I partied hard in Chicago. Right? But without fail, at 5:30, I was getting on that train. I was staying downtown Chicago. I was getting on that train on the 5:30 train, riding up to Deerfield, going work out. Without fail. It didn't matter what time. If I came in at 4:45, you hop in the shower and go get on the train. Like it was, but you become machines, right? So like guys, you get routine. Like even that, not having a routine, that killed me. Right? Like that killed me because my whole life has been, I know what I got to do because I'm trying to be better than somebody else. So I got to go to the gym. I got to go get shots. I got to go lift weights. I got to go run. I got to do this. And then I wake up and I do it all over again. Right? In school, I go to class. I go work out. I go eat. I do this. I go to sleep. Even if I go to the party, I got to wake up and I go to class and I did it. And it's a routine. So now you don't have no routine. So I was even talking to a group of guys, even, people, and it starts to hit harder. It's like, who can I talk to? Who can I tell? Man, I'm still making $8 million this year, but I'm depressed as hell. I ain't got to go to work, and it's killing me that I don't got to go to work, and they just steady paying me. Ain't no, where I'm from, they ain't gonna look at you like you crazy, because that's what we think we want, right? We all been waiting to. I just want to have to do nothing.
Yeah, people will tend to call you ungrateful, and you're like, what? No.
Yeah, like like it sound good. Until it's like, man,
you get $8 million to do nothing. What's your problem?
Right, like what's wrong with you? But what I lost was the passion. I can't do the passion. It was the passion.
Yeah.
It wasn't the money that was fueling it. It was the passion. It was doing it. It was going out there every day and doing it. It was going to the like being in the locker room, being around, like, you know, you got to relearn a new world.
Yeah, I think that's when people jokingly people like, money can't buy happiness. You'll find a person that be like, well, let me find out. Let me find out. But I feel like when you look at your example, yeah, I made $8 million, but I would have rather been playing. I'm just going to use Robert F. Smith. He's a billionaire. He could probably go sit down and do nothing, but clearly he loves business. He loves what he does. So I think when you really do find people who really is like, I do love the money. Money does take away financial stress and take away problems, but it is more to life than money, and it does not necessarily buy happiness.
It's, that it's the passion of the doing, and once you find that, like, even as when I talk, like, people push their kids, they don't understand how passionate you gotta be to, like, man, I was coaching college. You gotta and talk to college coaches now. You gotta beg the kids to go work out.
Yeah,
you gotta beg them to get in the gym.
They don't want it.
Man, when the party is at the gym. Like, even now, it ain't no shot to the kids. Man, LSU now that the women's got their own practice facility, the men's got their own practice facility in volleyball. We all share one gym. And it was always packed. These kids now, we giving them more and they doing less. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, so it's like, they don't got the passion for it. And so, like, but when people, whatever the passion is, when you out of it, it's just, you got to refine, you got to find a new passion, a new purpose.
And that's a lesson to what you said about the parents. It's like, well, be passionate about something else. Maybe they are actually interested in other things, and you're
like,
pushing
what do we
them
expose? Like,
against the grain.
Like,
you know,
how much have you
exposed
exposed them to? Like, that's even my son. He gonna be around. I go outside. I mean, I'm still in the gym with kids now. So I go outside. My son be out there practicing, shooting with one hand, doing all the stuff he might see me do. I don't tell him nothing. He gonna develop his own passion, his own desire for it, or he not. And then at the right time, when it's right, like, you don't put fertilizer on the plant immediately.
Right. You nurture the passion once you identify
right.
it.
Like, they out there just throwing fertilizer on everything. Let's
like, the plant is dead. It ain't coming back.
You done burnt it up. Let it do what it do. You gave it too much. But it's like understanding, like, even that. Like, I read something on Threads this morning, and it was just somebody, they said, I watched my neighbor water their garden at 5:30 a.m. religiously for years, something like that. And so they asked him why, and said, because at this time, the water doesn't evaporate as much, right? And so knowing when to nurture things and put in the work, and like, it's all about timing too, right? Like, as certain stages are for developing certain things, right? Mentally, emotionally, like, y'all letting y'all kids talk back to the ref. They not going nobody to school. I can tell you now the way that child as a group, no, nobody want that. Like, cause your child ain't good enough for y'all to act like that as a group. That's like, people don't, y'all yelling at the refs, a coach gonna look at that and say, your child not good enough for me to deal with that unit. Not dealing with that. You're not good enough. Now, if you good enough, you could get away with some stuff. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you're going to get 20 and 10 every night, your daddy could tell the coach whatever he want. I promise you're going to be all right.
Well, I don't know. Some people try to blackmail players. They were like, oh, okay, we about to humble you.
Now, if your daddy got a gold jacket.
if he Deion Sanders.
Yeah, if your daddy got a gold jacket, then, that's different.
That's a whole episode.
That's
in
a whole
no, we're not going there.
Gosh.
All right. So when people talk about Tyrus Thomas years from now, beyond basketball, what do you want your legacy to be? Have you thought about that?
I feel like when God bless you, like, you're just supposed to give. And, like, understanding I ain't giving like this, like I used to, but it's the lessons, right? Like, even like when we talk about the mental health, I got so big on that because I was afforded opportunities. Like, I did a respite in 2016 in like San Diego. The NBA hooked me up with it. And I'm sitting there, And that's when I realized, boy, you ain't crazy. And then it's like, you got all these resources. Then I was like, dang, my mama can't come here. My brother can't come here. I can't just bring nobody here if I want to. So what they do? I start thinking about the kids in the neighborhood. Like, where they go? What they get? Who telling them? Right? And so it's like, just want people to feel like I wasn't a gatekeeper. You know, I just try to like build other people up as best I can. That's it.
And that is definitely a rich lesson for all of us.
For sure.
Thank you, Tyrus. It's been great having you on our podcast.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Until next time.